What if I told you the reason your home never truly feels tidy isn't because it's messy, but because you're chasing a version of perfection that was never meant to exist in real life? Think about it. We are taught subtly, constantly, that a clean home looks a certain way. Spotless counters with nothing on them. Laundry folded into perfect rectangles. Storage bins that match, align, and close neatly. No clutter. No evidence of living. No interruptions. And for a moment, maybe right after you finish cleaning, it works. The house looks calm, controlled, Instagram ready. But it never lasts. Because life walks back in. You cook one meal. You change clothes once. You sit down with a book. Someone comes home tired. A child drops a bag. You put something down, just for now. And suddenly, the order is gone. So you clean again. You reorganize. You reset everything from scratch. And within days, sometimes within hours, it feels undone. That's when the frustration creeps in. You start thinking, why can't I keep this up? Why does everyone else seem to manage? Why does my home always return to chaos? You blame yourself. You think you're lazy, disorganized, undisciplined. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is the standard you're trying to live up to? In Japan, there is a centuries-old philosophy that offers a completely different answer to this struggle. It doesn't promise a spotless home. It doesn't demand constant effort. And it doesn't punish you for being human. Instead, it teaches a way of keeping your home calm and tidy without chasing perfection. It's called Wabi-Sabi. Not a cleaning method. Not a routine. Not a checklist taped to your fridge. And definitely not an aesthetic trend. Wabi-Sabi is a mindset. A way of seeing your home and yourself through a softer lens. It embraces imperfection. It accepts impermanence. And it finds peace in simplicity. Today, we're going to take this ancient philosophy and apply it directly to your home step by step. Not to make it flawless, but to make it peaceful, functional, and realistically tidy. By the end of this video, you won't feel like you're constantly battling your space. You'll stop fighting your home and start living with it. Section 1. What Wabi-Sabi really means. To understand how Wabi-Sabi changes the way we clean and organize, we first need to understand what it actually is, not what social media has turned it into. Wabi-Sabi is a Japanese philosophy rooted deeply in Zen Buddhism. It grew from a culture that valued restraint, reflection, and harmony with nature. At its core, Wabi-Sabi accepts three simple but powerful truths. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is ever complete. Everything changes. Everything ages. Everything carries marks of time. Where modern culture constantly tells us, fix it, upgrade it, replace it, make it better than before, Wabi-Sabi quietly says, see it, accept it, live with it. A cracked teacup isn't broken, it's beautiful. Because it tells a story. Because it has been used. Because it has survived. A worn wooden table isn't old, it's alive with history. Every scratch is a memory. Every mark is proof of life. And a home that shows signs of living, shoes by the door, a blanket on the couch, a book left open, isn't messy. It's human. This is important. Wabi-Sabi does not reject cleanliness. It rejects obsession. It rejects the idea that a home must look untouched to be considered tidy. This is where most people misunderstand it. Wabi-Sabi does not mean chaos. It does not mean neglect. It does not mean giving up. It means intentional imperfection. A home that is clean enough to function, but relaxed enough to live in. A home that supports your life instead of demanding constant performance from you. Once you understand this, something becomes clear. The problem isn't that your home gets messy. The problem is that modern standards leave no room for mess at all. And that's why they fail. Section 2. Why perfection creates constant mess. Here's something no one tells you about perfect homes. The more perfect the system is, the faster it breaks. Perfect homes rely on control. They need strict routines, consistent energy, flawless habits, daily discipline. They assume you will always have time, have motivation, have focus, have energy. Miss one day, and everything collapses. Laundry piles up because there's no buffer. Counters fill because there's no space for in between. Floors get dirty immediately because perfection has no margin. Storage systems stop working because they demand precision. Perfection has no forgiveness. Wabi-Sabi does. Instead of designing a home that only looks good when everything is under control, Wabi-Sabi designs a home that still works when life happens. When you're tired, when work runs late, when children exist, when emotions are heavy, when the day doesn't go as planned. A Wabi-Sabi home expects mess and plans for it, not by eliminating it, but by absorbing it gently. Section 3, Step 1. Stop aiming for finished. The first practical shift is simple but radical. Your home is never finished. And that's not a failure. That's the point. Stop trying to complete your space. In a Wabi-Sabi home, there is always something slightly out of place. There is always something unfinished. There is always room for change. Nothing is frozen in time. Instead of walking into a room and asking, "Is this perfect?" ask a gentler question. Is this usable right now? Can you sit without moving 5 things? Can you walk through without stepping over clutter? Can you cook without feeling overwhelmed? Can you rest without guilt? If the answer is yes, then the room is tidy enough. This mindset alone removes enormous pressure. It replaces judgment with function. It replaces guilt with realism. Think about your dining table. Modern thinking says, nothing should be on it, ever. An empty table becomes a symbol of success, proof that you're keeping up. But Wabi-Sabi asks a different question. What is this table for? It's for eating, for reading, for writing, for conversations, for life. So maybe there's a book you're currently reading, a cup you'll use again later, a small stack of papers waiting for attention. Instead of clearing it obsessively every night, you consciously designate one corner as a living zone. That corner is allowed to exist. The rest of the table stays clear enough to function, not perfect, but honest. The table remains usable, without pretending no one lives there. And that's the difference. Now that we've changed how we see the home, the next step is learning how to organize in a way that respects imperfection instead of fighting it. Section 4, Step 2. Accept visual softness, not visual control. Modern organization is obsessed with hiding clutter, hiding life, hiding evidence that anyone actually lives in the home. Everything must be sealed, stacked, aligned, and invisible. Clear bins, hard plastic, sharp edges, perfect symmetry. It looks impressive, but it's fragile. Wabi-Sabi takes a different approach. It allows things to be seen but softly. Instead of demanding total visual control, it creates visual forgiveness. This is where materials matter. Rigid containers make mess feel louder. Harsh lines magnify disorder. When one item is out of place, the entire system feels broken. But soft materials do something powerful. They blur edges. They absorb imperfection. They make almost tidy feel calm instead of chaotic. So instead of plastic bins, think woven baskets. Clear acrylic, think wood, clay, or ceramic. Metal racks, think fabric, linen, cotton. A basket doesn't look messy when it's half full. It looks used. A shelf with breathing room doesn't feel empty. It feels intentional. Negative space isn't wasted space, it's visual rest. This isn't accidental. It's design that understands human behavior. Shoes are one of the most common sources of daily frustration. You line them up perfectly in the morning. By evening, they're scattered again. Modern thinking says, control them harder. Wabi-Sabi asks, how do I contain them gently? Instead of forcing perfect alignment every single day, use one low tray, or a woven mat, or a shallow basket. The goal isn't straight lines. The goal is boundaries. Shoes can land imperfectly, but they stay within a soft frame. They're visible. They're accessible. They're not shouting for attention. That's Wabi-Sabi tidiness. Not hidden, not strict, just calm. Once your home stops demanding visual perfection, the next step is even more freeing. Designing your space for who you actually are, not who you wish you were on your best day. Section 5, Step 3. Design for daily failure. This is one of the most powerful and compassionate principles of Wabi-Sabi living. Design your home for the days you don't feel like cleaning. Not the motivated days. Not the energetic days. Not the ideal version of yourself. The real days. Wabi-Sabi homes assume you'll get tired. You'll skip routines. You'll procrastinate. You'll have low-energy days. And instead of punishing that reality, they work with it. Forgiving systems don't break when you fall behind. They absorb mess quietly. Laundry. Instead of insisting everything must be washed, dried, folded, perfectly put away, Wabi-Sabi says, create one drawer or basket labeled clean, but unfolded. On busy days, clean clothes still have a home. They're not scattered across chairs. They're not turning into clutter. Papers. Instead of sorting every document immediately into folders, create one simple to-sort box. It catches mail, notes, receipts, and reminders without letting them spread. Mess isn't eliminated, it's contained. And containment is the real secret to tidiness. When your systems stop demanding perfection, something else becomes easier too. Letting go. Not aggressively, not emotionally, but gently. Section 6, Step 4. Keep objects with visible use. Wabi-Sabi values objects that show life. Not things that look perfect on a shelf, but things that are reached for, touched, and worn. If an object is frequently used, slightly worn, imperfect, but functional, it belongs. Its wear is not a flaw. It's proof of purpose. But objects that exist only for decoration, just in case scenarios, imaginary future versions of your life, create mental noise. They demand attention without giving anything back. A tidy Wabi-Sabi home isn't minimal. It's meaningful. Every item earns its place by serving your actual life. That chipped mug you always reach for. It doesn't match the set. It isn't perfect. It wouldn't photograph well. But it fits your hand. It holds warmth. It shows up every morning. You don't throw it away. You don't hide it at the back of the cupboard. You honor it. Because it serves you. And in Wabi-Sabi, service is beauty. Now that your home holds only what supports you, cleaning itself begins to change. It becomes quieter, gentler, less exhausting. Section 7, Step 5. Clean. Gently, not aggressively. Wabi-Sabi cleaning is not dramatic. There are no marathon deep cleans. No all-day weekend exhaustion. No starting from zero every time. Instead, it's quiet maintenance, small daily resets, gentle wiping, light sweeping. Cleaning isn't about erasing life, it's about supporting it. A surface wiped regularly never becomes overwhelming. A floor swept lightly never demands a full reset. A home cleaned gently stays clean longer because it's never pushed to extremes. And finally, there's one last element that transforms everything. Rest. Section 8, Step 6. Create rest spaces. Every Wabi-Sabi home has rest spaces. Places where nothing is expected. Nothing is stored. Nothing is demanded. These spaces exist simply to be. A chair with a soft throw. A clear corner with light. A window ledge with nothing but air. These areas do something subtle but powerful. They slow you down. They calm your nervous system. They reduce the urge to clutter. When your mind rests, mess slows naturally. Rest spaces are not empty. They're generous. Section 9. The emotional shift. Here's the deeper truth behind all of this. A home that accepts imperfection teaches you to accept yourself. You stop feeling behind. You stop feeling guilty. You stop feeling like you're failing at adulthood. Your home stops being a scoreboard. It becomes a companion. It holds you instead of judging you. So today, don't aim for perfect. Aim for calm, function, forgiveness. Let your home breathe, and let yourself breathe with it. If this perspective shifted how you see your space, like this video, it helps more people find peace in their homes. Subscribe for more quiet, intentional living ideas. And in the comments, tell me, what's one imperfect thing in your home that you're ready to stop fighting? Until next time, remember, a lived-in home is a loved-in home.